too good. Dusky? Oh, how's it going then? Dusky? Let's go, baby. Luvian, how's it going, man? By the way, you guys want to see something really cool, or I guess depressing on it, depending on how you think about it? So we keep like Coke and shit like in the garage, right? It's so fucking cold. I've never had this happen. It's so fucking cold. Coke froze. I don't know what the freezing point of Coke is. I've never had a can of Coke be frozen when it fucking got to me. That's fucking nuts. What are we doing here? What the fuck? What kind of frozen fucking wasteland, fucking Northern Kingdoms bullshit am I fucking living in? What is this? Like, what the fuck? I was like pouring my Coke in because I like having it out of a glass. I don't like having it out of a can. I was like pouring it, and then I like hear something at the bottom, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, is this like a unsealed can? Like, what the fuck? Like, did something, sneak in there? And then I was like, there ain't no fucking way. It's ice. Oh my god. How cold is it? Right now, it's not even that cold. It's negative 12 degrees right now. Which should also tell you how fucking cold it is. And I'm saying negative 12 is like, nah. Like, it kind of chill today. Jesus fuck. Batmobile. Penguin, Robin, Batmobile, Joker? I don't know, ballroom. Sheriff looked up one image and completely understood Bullseye. DC Death. Oh, I. Okay. Okay. Yep. Have you seen Marvel Death? Marvel is alright, but DC is better. I agree. Well, DC as a whole is better. Fuck Marvel. I go. Devil, Joker. Shit. I don't know. We're skipping this. You know what? We're going straight to chess. I don't want to waste it. I don't want to waste much time. And like, by the way, all the fucking points I made in the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 days I lost yesterday. I was in the fucking, I was in VC. We were all talking, and I was playing chess side by side. So I wasn't really paying attention, and my brain just fucking turned off. It's so cooked. Oh, mods have new icons now? I think it's just you. I don't think it's anything. I don't see anything. Here. Oh, the thread is clearly here. But if I castle... And go here. How's everyone doing today? I'm sorry, I'm so locked in right now because I need to get my lost points back. It's so cool. About to eat dinner? No. I think I just come back here. Let's do that. I'm good, man. I'm good. Works pretty good. I haven't had a chance to. There was a one particular client who was like pissing the shit out of me, but we got that. We got his whole fucking conundrum solved, so we're okay. We're okay. Shit's not hidden. I got so lucky. He had a free bishop. Oh, I didn't see it. Okay. But it's okay. We made it work. Let's just go here so that when he goes here to kick out my bishop item. All that these. I know what they're thinking. Yoink. You're gonna kick my knight out, bitch. Fuck out of here. I have an extra fucking what happened last stream? I think the biggest thing that happened was there was like a confrontation with Commander Everett or whatever. This year entertainment was looking pretty. Dude, I need to fucking watch Jujutsu Kaisen. I can't believe I'm this far behind on it. It's actually crazy. I don't know why he would, but I was hoping he would take with. No, I haven't been watching season 3, which is so cooked because I love season 3, bro. I love Cullen games, and I haven't been watching it. It's so whack. I'm like the source of my own misery. Yeah, bro, I just said that. What are you hassling me for? I agreed with you. Ain't no fucking way, bro. I'm like, I don't know, I'm actually losing my shit here. There's something really easy I can do right now, and I'm not, and I need to figure it the fuck out. Time's running too. This is so whack. I'm okay to just fucking... Thank you, Jesus Christ. Just get me away from here. I don't... I'm okay to just take that draw. Oh my god. I was totally winning, and then I don't know. I was so low on time, I just shit myself. Cuttlefish's new cultivation? Wait, he's doing a cultivation? Wait. Dragon Ball Super's returning? Stop. What? Stop. Fall 2026 premiere, let's go! No, I didn't know. I did not know. Bleach I knew. JJK, obviously I knew. Freerun I knew. Avengers Doomsday? Is that an anime? No, oh, that's the, oh. Yep. Don't. Dude, you put that amongst anime, okay? You broke my brain there for a quick second. Stop, okay? That was way dumber than it was intended to be. Hold on. Please. No. No. Stop. That never happened. Stop. Stop. That never happened. Stop. No. Nothing happened. You're making it up. Shut up. I don't know. You guys are lying. Oh my. Money, how's it going, man? Stop. No, stop. That never happened. Shut up. What are you talking? Luvian, don't you fucking dare clip this, bro. I'm gonna nuke you. Supergirl, I'm super excited for. Fire Force, I honestly don't give a shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never been a big fan. GTA 6 is gonna get delayed to 2027. I don't have any hope for it. Wolverine... The Wolverine game comes out in 2027? Really? Or 2026? Oh. Oh. What? Bro, I noticed you, did I not? God. Everyone's so mean to me. What the fuck? 2040. Yeah, it's never coming, bro. I'm gonna fucking die before GTA 6 comes out. Busy. Nice. Did he just notice through... Did he just notice though, deadass? No, of course not. You think I would ignore you, Money? Really? God. I just saved you from getting banned, did I not? And you still question my loyalty? How fucking dare you? Alright, 200 to what? I know Luvian sent me this, but I can't remember. 2 to 207. Okay, let's try to get to 207 then. Fuck up. Oh, are we getting another meeting with Miss Susie? You guys will legit not see me. No, GTA 6 can't get delayed again. I own some Take-Two stocks. If it gets delayed to 2027, the stocks tank, dude. I don't think chances were too high. Do you want me to tell Kami he can go ahead? Do you want to take a bet on what your chances are? Alright, let's start. The titular coffee was rich and aromatic. Why is chat on screen delayed? I don't think it is. A perfect match for my creamy cupcake. Though Lumian's focus was elsewhere, he still appreciated the beauty. The moment the clock struck 3:30 p.m., a familiar soft female voice reached him. "Good afternoon, Mr. Lee." "Good afternoon, Madam Susie," Lumian responded. While Lumian didn't intentionally observe the customers entering Mason Cafe, his instincts allowed him to maintain awareness of his surroundings. When he arrived at 3:18, Cabin D had been deserted. No one entered from 3:15 to 3:30. And yet here was Madam Susie silently appearing behind him. How bizarre. Susie's voice gently inquired once more, "How did you feel after your last treatment?" "I feel much better than before. At least I could release my emotions." "That's good. Suppressing your feelings and bottling up your emotions will only exacerbate your mental problems and lead you down a self-destructive path until your innate will to live is completely overwhelmed," Susie commented. A hint of a smile laced her words. "Let's have a conversation first. We'll discuss all the things you've encountered in the past weeks. Feel free to choose what you believe you can and are willing to share." Lumian knew he needed to calm himself and undergo further psychiatric treatment as a foundation for unlocking more memories. Hence he offered no resistance and chuckled. "There's nothing I can't tell you. I've even shared that dream with you. Everything else can only be classified as minor secrets. There's an unlucky and dim-witted fellow at the motel I'm staying at." Lumian began with Charlie. Lumian casually recounted the events of the past weeks. Gradually, his mind relaxed, as if returning to a time before Cordu's destruction. Aurora, who barely ventured outside, would often hear about everything that transpired in Cordu from him. He delighted in sharing it with his sister, even boasting about his pranks. As time trickled away, Lumen's rigid posture softened as he sank into the sofa. He refrained from delving deep into details. Time was limited, and he couldn't exactly waste it. He didn't touch up on the curly-haired baboon society, Franca's true gender, or his suspicions regarding her motives for joining the mob. Merely mentioning his encounter with a pen pal of his sister, the Sequence 7 of the Demoness pathway. Likewise, he provided only a brief mention of performing a ritual and receiving an additional boon. After recounting his experiences for the past weeks, Lumion spoke. I can't help but wonder if it's my own fault for stumbling upon so many events so quickly. Sometimes I question why every human and dog in Trier seems to be a beyonder. For a moment, Susie didn't respond. After a few moments, she smiled and said, I can perceive that your mental state has indeed improved. How can you tell? Lumion asked. I can sense that you're reconstructing your social connections and beginning to form friendships. Friends? Charlie? Jenna? Franca? Could we really call them friends? They're mere acquaintances. What did I miss? Merlin, how's it going, man? Long time no see. Susie responded with a smile. Friendships come in very... Oh. Oh, of course. Oh, of course. Okay, very good. I didn't... Susie's so human-like. I just, like, it literally skipped my mind for a moment. I didn't even... it didn't even register. It was just... But Audrey, I'm just a dog. She's so human-like. It literally just... skipped my mind. Friendships come in various forms. Not all require deep connections. You simply need to ask yourself, when they face challenges that lie within your capabilities to solve, would you be willing to offer assistance? That will reveal if they can be considered friends. It depends on the specific circumstances and the price I must pay. I'm not exactly the type to go out of my way to help others, Lumion muttered. For someone prone to self-destruction, a sign of their emergence from the quagmire is their willingness to forge new social bonds. Roselle once said, assuming he truly did, that humans are the sum of their social relationships. When you no longer resist forming new connections, it signifies that you are no longer opposed to your own future. Lumion fell silent for a moment before speaking. Before I get spoiled, Merlin, am I ahead of you now? Oh god, you're kidding. Madam Susie, there's something I'd like to ask you. I mentioned a series of coincidences that have befallen me. Are they truly as Madam Magician suggested? Could they be partially influenced by mid-sequence beyonders of the spectator pathway? Are you attempting to divert the topic? Susie chuckled. Are you still resistant to such matters? Actually, one can discern from such details. You took the initiative to request Franca to enlighten you on mystical matters whenever she was available, but never followed through. The sole visit you made was on the pretext of her repaying a favor, suggesting that you remain unwilling to establish a close bond. That's natural. How could a patient recover after only one treatment? You need not burden yourself. If it were the last time, I wouldn't have been so forthright. It would have only bred resistance, causing you to close yourself off further. However, you now exhibit certain inclinations towards forging new social connections, allowing you to gain clearer insight into your true self and facilitate progress. Trees are exploding near you too? No, we're not. It's not quite that cold here. And plus, it's a different kind. We have different kinds of trees here. Like the trees up in Canada are like resistant to cold, right? Like they've acclimated to the intense temperatures. I think the trees exploding or whatever is in like Michigan or some shit where it doesn't nearly ever get this cold. So the trees aren't acclimated to this, so the fucking wood is just... For mid-sequence beyonder of the spectator pathway to engineer a coincidence, they must employ face-to-face psychological cues or hypnosis. They need to be present around you, the Baron and his associates. The reason you didn't notice it and the Baron remained oblivious is that mid-sequence beyonders of the spectator pathway possess a particular power. Psychological invisibility. Aaron! Lumen, how's it going, man? 200 chapters, fuck yeah, we're 1/6-ish of the way through. Psychological invisibility. How does it differ from regular invisibility? Psychological invisibility is not true invisibility. It merely prevents you from perceiving me, even when I am standing right before you and numerous others have already witnessed my presence. That sounds magical, Lumion sighed. This won't change even if you employ spirit vision. Your intuition for danger will not react until I am prepared to strike. By comparison, a shadow ascetic's concealment within shadows occasionally evokes the sensation of being watched by the darkness. Which pathway does a shadow ascetic belong to? Lumion asked. Secret Suppliant. Secret Suppliant? Above Listener and below Shepherd, there's a sequence known as Shadow Ascetic. This belongs to Mr. K's pathway. Occasionally, I sense someone observing me in the surrounding darkness because of him or his subordinates. Combining this with Aurora's grimoire and Madam Magician's clues gave Lumion a wave of enlightenment. For the Secret Suppliant pathway, Aurora had only noted down sequence 9 and 8. Madam Magician appears to write a substantial amount, but it's just an outline without much detail. It's not as comprehensive as Madame Susie's explanation. Aren't you concerned that revealing your pathways beyond her powers to me might harm you? Susie brushed it off. If you're a high sequence beyonder of the spectator pathway, there is no need for such elaborate measures. Even if they are far from you, they can subtly influence you, causing you to unknowingly follow their arrangements. Though I too am a spectator, I must still caution you. Beware of the spectator. So you arranged for the paperboy to deliver an outdated newspaper to me? It wasn't me, Susie said. It was a companion. Kami, how about this? For the foreseeable future, anytime you have lag, just assume it's you. Unless I say it otherwise or someone else says it, just assume it's you. Companion? Another psychiatrist? He was here last time too? Yes. Your condition is more serious, and I wasn't so confident, so I invited her to assist me. Yes, as a precautionary measure. In fact, she's here today as well. She's sitting right across from you. Across from me? Lumion glanced in surprise at the empty seat in front of him. There was no one present. In the next instant, he heard a gentle female voice with a hint of a smile. Hello. Oh, Susie. Oh, god damn. They're Aura, Audrey, and Susie are Aura farming to the max, bro. Lumion was taken aback as he widened his eyes and glanced in surprise at the vacant seat across from him. Hello. In that instant, a memory from his sister flashed through his mind. She had once mentioned an intriguing phrase. Expert consultation. Although I'm not entirely surrounded by invisible psychiatrists, there are two of them and I can't detect them. The woman sitting opposite him fell silent while Susie's voice assumed a more relaxed tone. It seems the newspaper has left a lasting impression on you. Does it mean it had a positive impact? Yes. He had reached a point where he could confront the emotional turmoil within him instead of burying it. Otherwise, he would have tried to avoid any encounters with Franca. Naturally, this invoked intensive waves of emotion. Susie skillfully redirected the conversation. If you wish to further investigate any unusual coincidences that have occurred, I can assist you. I won't delve directly into your memories, but I can awaken them all and present them to you chronologically. Of course, this excludes those deep hidden within the recess of your subconscious. They pose too great a risk. Sounds good, Kami. Thank you. Wallflower, how's it going? Long time no see. I mean, I keep reading your messages and I was like, damn, I'm too late. But no, not late today. How's it going? Are you willing to give it a try? Lumion didn't hesitate for a moment. Yes. Whenever he noticed the coincidences around him, he would occasionally recall his recent experiences and meticulously scrutinize the corresponding details. Lean back fully against the sofa, relax, and close your eyes. What am I putting on, Kami? Just as he adjusted his posture and prepared to calm his mind, a sudden volcanic eruption erupted in his mind. This unexpected attack caught him off guard, leaving his subconscious unable to shield him. Magma and smoke burst forth like luminous specks. A multitude of glowing dots arranged themselves chronologically, giving Lumion the sensation of watching a play with himself as the central character. It unfolded in a blur, yet every detail remained vivid. As the temperature soared, Lumion's mind raced, threatening to release wisps of white smoke. He witnessed each scene and recalled every detail, skillfully connecting them. Lumion's eyes widened as his facial features contorted. The memory that should have been present was now a void, and a gentle female voice resounded. Has it truly vanished? Or have you forgotten or overlooked it? Spoke the lady across from him. Like a lightning bolt, it illuminated Lumion's mind, casting light into the darkest recess of his subconscious. Lumion's expression grew increasingly pained, and he couldn't help but bow his head. I see it. It was a conversation with the angel, sealed within. His name is Termi Boris. The corruption contained within his left chest was, in essence, an angel who believed in inevitability. Termi Boris. Initially, he had intended to seek guidance from Madam Magician on how to harness the angel's power and avert any negative effects, but he had forgotten. Is the corruption sealed in your body? Susie asked. Yes. He attempted to entice me into aiding his escape from the seal, but I refused. And then I forgot. This is truly bizarre. Termi Boris is undeniably sealed within my body and cannot break free. That's to be expected. One mustn't underestimate any angel, even when sealed. The unknown was almost always the most terrifying. In ancient times, she continued, angels were also referred to as subsidiary gods, implying that they possess the essence of a deity. Even when sealed, they can exert a certain influence upon the external world. Did you perhaps believe that with the seal of the great entity, the corruption within your chest was more akin to a boon? As long as you follow the procedure at the appropriate steps, you shouldn't encounter any issues, apart from enduring great pain and assuming a certain risk of losing control. You must remember, the potency of a curse is no less than that of a boon, if not stronger, Susie warned. I do not know how Termi Boris has influenced you, but given his belief in inevitability, I suspect his primary aim is to induce a deviation in your destiny. However, you needn't worry excessively. He is, after all, sealed and his capacity is very limited. Moving forward, as you continuously assess your condition and consistently seek guidance on your actions, you can largely circumvent this. Okay, Lumion retrieved a pen and wrote down the note pertaining to consulting Madam Magician regarding Termi Boris. He feared succumbing to the angel's influence yet again. Lumion stored the pen and paper away. Now that I've recollected the events regarding Termi Boris, I feel considerably more at ease. That does make sense though, because I was wondering, I was like, how the fuck did this motherfucker not get turned to ash when he knew about the great old ones? But that makes sense. Flag spikes? For me? Even reading as little as I do and kind of being a bum for the last little bit, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is good. This is good. I can perceive an improvement in your mental state, Susie affirmed. Lumion then asked, ladies, do you believe that Susanna Matisse has been fully eradicated by the official Beyonders, or should I continue searching for clues? The spectator pathway isn't well versed in divination, Susie said. Susie, seated across from Lumion, the invisible lady smiled. Madam Magician is a divination expert. Did she not provide you with an answer? Or perhaps her hidden message eluded your understanding? 16 chapters? Dara? Oh, you're gonna be there forever. God bless you. She didn't say anything. Lumion pondered for a moment. It's fine. I can be mean. She's so mean to me. I can be mean to her too. It's fine. Recalling Madame Magician's response. She's doing the feast of... Oh, shit. Okay, nice. Recalling Madame Magician's response regarding Susanna, he froze. Madame Magician had continuously guided him on how to resolve the issue with Susanna, subtly hinting that he should seek guidance from Mr. K. From a different perspective, she had never once considered the possibility that Susanna had been eliminated. For in her view, this predicament would undoubtedly resurface. I know the answer, he nodded. As Lumion spoke, he made a connection that based on the manner and demeanor exhibited by the psychiatrist, when addressing Madame Magician, could they also be members of a secret organization that employs tarot cards as their codename? What cards do they correspond to? The mere thought of meeting Louis Lund fills me with anxiety, excitement, and adrenaline. I can't seem to control myself. Is this an issue? That's quite normal, actually, Susie said. People often exhibit similar behaviors when it comes to matters they really care about. You're just a bit more intense. If you didn't react this way, I would be more concerned that you were facing an issue and had repressed your emotion. What you need to focus on now is not being fearful or overwhelmed, but learning to manage your emotions. Normal. Lumion felt reassured by Susie's explanation. Manage them? How? He asked. The simplest method is to remind yourself not to overreact. Whenever you feel a surge of emotions, take deep breaths and find your calm. It may sound easy, but it is quite challenging. When emotions flare, it is difficult for humans to maintain rationality, rarely thinking about controlling themselves. By the time they regain their composure, they often find that they've already made a mistake. I can set up a trigger for you. Once your emotional reactions exceed a certain threshold, it will remind you of my words and assist you in regaining your rationality, allowing you to attempt to regain control. This is a temporary solution. In the long run, it will depend on your own efforts. However, once you become accustomed to self-reflection during times of heightened emotions, the issue will become more manageable. Are you willing to give it a try? Okay, Lumion said. 3 lines in. Thanks, Kami. At some point, Susie's voice took on another worldly and elusive quality. It felt as if she had a great deal. She had said a great deal, yet Lumion couldn't recall a single word. The only thing he did recall was her concluding statement. The trigger has been set, and if all goes well, it would last for 2 weeks. Perfectly timed for your next session. At that time, we can decide whether to make any adjustments. Cool. More than 10 seconds, filled with both fear and anticipation, he inquired, is it possible for me to attempt to awaken more buried memories from my subconscious? Anali. Of course, Susie said. Almost simultaneously, Lumion felt a weight pulling at his subconscious, dragging him down swiftly into the depths. Within a matter of seconds, his eyelids grew heavy, and he couldn't resist the urge to close them. In a dazed state, Lumion appeared to transform into a spectral figure. Floating through the village of Cordoue. After an unknown duration, he caught sight of the onion-shaped cathedral. The Onion Knight! Sorry. Although his perception remained hazy, a concentrated beam of light emerged near its main entrance, while the rest of the darkness loomed as an ominous shadow. Lumion meandered aimlessly through the adjacent cemetery, and in the darkness, tombstones stood silent. A group of men were hauling a lifeless body towards a deep pit. Beneath the faint glow of the moon, one of the men lifted his hands. Pons Bene. Lumion snapped out of his reverie. The distance between them diminished, and Lumion lowered his gaze and beheld the corpse. Raymond. A surge of intense hatred filled Lumion's heart as he hurled accusation at Pons and his companions, venting his emotions. It felt as if he had unleashed a torrent of curses, as if he had pounced on Pons Bene, the villain. It felt as if he was digging a profound pit with his hands. Dirt pierced his nails, uncovering another corpse. Eva. Lumion shot up from his seat, propelled from the intense emotions, and his eyes flew open. Lumion stared at the vacant sofa opposite him, gasping deeply. The intense anger and hatred from the dream lingered. I saw them. I saw Raymond and Eva. One drowned and the other strangled. Hans and his gang were burying them in the cemetery. I shouted at them. I wanted to do something. But I woke up. This time, I didn't allow you to have a lucid dream, Susie spoke. Instead, I let you experience certain subconscious scenes in the form of a dream. While it may not present the complete truth, it combines fragments of what really happened. There may be overlap in time or space, but the details remain intact. It provides us with a basis for interpretation. So you're saying that I really witnessed Pons Bene and the others burying Raymond and Ava's body in the cemetery? I'm not exactly certain. What we can conclude so far is that Raymond was drowned by Pons Bene and his companions, and Ava was strangled to death by them. Their bodies were eventually buried somewhere in the cemetery, or you may or may not have been present at the scene. It's possible that you discovered it later and attempted to unearth their corpses and seek revenge, but the outcome wasn't exactly favorable. So that's what happened. I was wondering about why they didn't kill me and toss me into the pit if I was there. Oh, I saw there's a clan system where we can... Oh, bullseye! Fuck yeah, that'd be so goated, dude. Fuck yeah. We cannot dismiss the possibility that you were present at the scene and witnessed the entire incident. There are numerous explanations, and while it may not be as you imagine it to be, they spared your life because they needed a vessel with exceptional physical attributes. What I can affirm is that the anger and hatred and desire for revenge you experienced were genuine. They are your true emotions from the time. In other words, regardless of the circumstances, the deaths of Ava and Raymond have nothing to do with you. Upon hearing Susie's words, it felt as if Lumion had had a weight lifted off his shoulders. His mind was now much calmer than before. He no longer had to maintain a facade of bravery. In the blink of an eye, an invisible breeze swept through his body and mind, soothing him. Compared to our last session, you are in a much better state. You showed great courage sooner than I expected. In the realm of psychology, this is a crucial indication that you are breaking free from the puzzle. Only by confronting the problem can you find a solution. Alright, that concludes today's treatment. You are ready to face Louis Lund, Madame Polly, and the others. Wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Sova can hopefully... So, who the fuck is Sova? I've never heard this name before. Who the fuck is that? I saw it in the fucking tier list or whatever that you guys sent, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Basically her alt. Okay, there's all. Dude, imagine someone as unhinged as Dara and then taking away even what little accountability exists with Dara by giving her an alt account. Holy shit, that sounds like something, man. Ooh. Not something I want to know, mind you. Well, you're, wait, hold on. Yet, there is another matter, Lumion spoke. I may be compelled to believe in another entity at some point, but ordinarily I am forbidden to recollect his honorific name. Do either of you possess a means to prevent such a recollection? That is quite simple. I shall provide you with a psychological trigger. When your spiritual intuition feels devoid of protection, your subconscious will replace the honorific name with that being to the safeguard against its impact. While under protection, you may freely remember and speak his name. The psychological cue has been planted. Thank you, madam. And thank you, Madam Susie. Lumion nodded. You're welcome. See you in 2 weeks. Lumion wasn't sure when they departed, but the area around Booth D became still. Only the chirping of the birds in the botanical garden, the clopping of hooves on the road, and the distant hum of machinery resonated. Bro, who are we gonna force to be bards so we can get support spells? I'll do it. I will make that sacrifice. No, I won't. I'm fucking lying to you. Won't. He lifted his cup, finished the remainder of his coffee, and adjusted his mental state. Seizing the moment, he replayed the entire treatment in his mind, and an inexplicable feeling settled upon him. Madame Susie's last statement seemed peculiar. She said I can face Louis, Madame Polly, and the others now? Implying that the answers I may receive could shatter me? I bet you're gonna be a warrior. Are all pathways available, or are there at the starting only limited ones? I have no idea. I haven't been following the game super. It's understandable, but what if my condition doesn't improve as expected? Will she advise me to give up the opportunity to meet Louis Lund? What if Louis emerged yesterday? Wouldn't it be a major problem if I hadn't had my Bard, Warrior, Spectator, Fool, Apprentice, Mystery Prior? I will take Apprentice. Psych! You thought, idiot. I'm taking Fool, of course. If that's the case, shouldn't Madame I will take a. If that's the case, shouldn't Madame Susie have warned me against approaching Madame Polly or confronting the Padre before the follow-up session? How can she be so certain that I won't encounter Louis Lund in the past 2 weeks? Spectre. He exited Booth D and hailed a public carriage. Early apprentice is getting bullied by others. Oh yeah? Try to bully me, bro. I'm just gonna straight up run through a door. Boom. You're locked out. Lumion didn't rush to send a messenger to Auberge de Côte d'Or or the safe house on Rue de Bleu Blanche to inform Madame Magician about Termy Boris. Instead, he made his way to 126 Avenue de Mars to check if his subordinates or anyone else had encountered anything. With a dark brown, wide-brimmed hat atop his head, Lumion strolled to a spot diagonally across from Roger's house, roughly 20 meters away, settling into a gap between 2 buildings. Vagrants occupying the area. One of them shuffled closer to Lumion and whispered, "Nothing yet." Lumion nodded and directed his gaze towards a 3-story building with a garden. As time ticked by, the sun descended. Yeah, exactly, Kami. You're about to die. Everyone's like about to, you know, like 3 people are jumping on you, you're like, oh, you're about to die. And you go, Leo Darrow! As time ticked by, the sun descended on the horizon, casting a dwindling light. The lamplighters commenced their task, igniting the gas lamps one by one. At that moment, Lumion spotted a man clad in a grayish-blue worker uniform. Anthony Reed? Why is he out and about? Resembling a worker finishing a shift, Anthony hurried towards the end of Avenue de Marche. Lumion realized that Anthony wasn't merely passing by, he was approaching someone. The man sported a blue gown adorned with yellow buttons. He sat inside a rental carriage with a yellow plate, clearly a driver affiliated with the Empire Carriage Company. The carriage driver tipped his hat and kept his head lowered as if waiting for a customer. Lumion's heart stirred and he rose to his feet, taking a few steps in that direction. As Anthony brushed past the carriage, he stumbled and collided with the horse pulling it. Startled, the horse attempted to raise its forelegs, but the driver swiftly tugged on the reins and restrained the animal. Yet, as the carriage driver lifted his head, his face was revealed. Lumion couldn't discern his features clearly from the distance, yet a faint sense of familiarity washed over him. Lumion narrowed his eyes as he profusely refused to apologize to Anthony and left the carriage behind. A valet emerged from 126 Avenue de Marche. Approaching the carriage, the valet addressed the driver. "My master wishes to hire your carriage. Please proceed inside and assist with moving a few items." "Okay," the carriage driver said. Following the valet, he entered the residence belonging to Roger. Lumion, who had now witnessed the entire sequence of events without catching the conversation, smirked. He was now utterly certain that the carriage driver was Louis Lund. At last, you have arrived. Cooperation. Mr. Prayer is not goated at low sequences, no. But none of the divination based ones are until you at least get to mid sequence. Like, I wouldn't even say like Seer. Like Seer I think it's really dope at Magician, but like before that, like what are you doing? Mystery Prior, you have to get to like Warlock, I think same thing before you get kind of decent with anything. Melee Scholar at sequence 9 is, I guess, kind of decent. It'll give you some basic hand-to-hand combat ability. But all the same, like, I think you're still getting your ass beat by more combat-based sequence 8, so I think, again, you need to get to like 7 for the divination-based ones. Yeah, again, Kami. Again, 8 for Mystery Prior, for Seer, and for Apprentice is quite similar, right? Like, they give you some kind of movement abilities and like some kind of basic physical combat along with divination, but like you're still like high range of like you're like a high level athlete basically. Like in the world of Supernatural, being like, oh, I have like a really good balance is like, really? That's your fucking superpower? Oh wow, I can balance on top of a steel beam. Get the fuck out of here. What are you? Shut the fuck up. What are we doing here? Yeah. Supernatural balance. Yeah, fucking cool, buddy. Okay. How about you fucking supernatural balance my fucking nuts on your face? Jesus. Lumion retreated the cluster of tramps, patiently awaiting the emergence of Louis. Soon enough, Anthony, the information broker, returned from changing his attire, seemingly determined to fulfill his promise and seize the opportunity to tail Louis. At that moment, he spotted a yellowish-white shirt, and a brown formal coat. Had Lumion not possessed a certain knowledge of Reed's build, he might have failed to recognize him. After considering his options, Lumion stepped out from the crevice between the two buildings and confronted Anthony. Having discarded his disguise upon departing Valiant Cafe, he now donned a simple ensemble. Noticing the shift in Anthony's gaze, Lumion whispered, "I'm back. Await me at the rear entrance." Although the prophecy spell indicated a reunion with Louis, Lumion aimed to avert any potential mishaps. Are we just bullying Sal when he makes his new account to play? Why? I mean, we can. I want to be super clear. I'm here for it. Fuck that guy. He's so mean. On the one hand, the prophetic concoction derived from his body's response, rendering it somewhat unreliable. There may be omissions within the prophecy. On the other, the manifestation of a prophecy could assume various forms. Anthony withdrew his gaze and nodded. He advanced onward. He's probably going to be a savant and we want good shit. True. But there's no savant, right? That's not one of the 6 sequences. Anthony withdrew his gaze and nodded. He advanced onward by passing the residence of Roger and disappearing into the alley. Lumion did not immediately turn around. Beneath the glow of the street lamps, he pressed onward. Just as he reached a dimly lit section, a figure emerged from the shadows. Franca? Aren't you concerned about being discovered? Lumion asked. While Trierans had a high tolerance for eccentric attire and even formally pursued fashion trends, loitering in secrecy while dressed in such a manner would undoubtedly draw the attention of Roger and the Poison Spur mob. Franca grinned. You don't understand. This is all part of the procedure. Didn't your sister teach you? What is she dressed as? It doesn't even explain. Indeed, she did teach me, but she never mentioned employing it in such a place or situation. Fret not, I won't be discovered. As her words faded, she took a step backwards, merging seamlessly with the shadows and vanishing. If it weren't for this inevitable gender change at Sequence 7, he would have considered this path more to his liking than that of Hunter. Emerging from the shadows again, Franca pointed to 126 Avenue de Marche. The carriage driver should be the Louis Lund you seek. Shall I assist you in tailing him? I understand that hunters possess a hound's nose and an eagle's eye, making them adept at tracking, but you struggle at concealment. It's easier if I do it. Don't forget, Louis is also a Beyonder and he worships an evil god. He has quite a unique set of abilities. Very well, Lumion said. At present, he couldn't mark Louis with a distinct scent, and the darkness was swiftly descending. The crowded streets filled with pedestrians and carriage would muddle any traces. Tailing from 20 to 30 meters would easily result in losing the target at the slightest misstep. Franca's thin, red lips curled into a smile. Free from the confines of the shadows, she spoke. Your afternoon therapy session went quite well. A man should be more open-minded. She tapped his chest as she spoke. From her possession emerged a glass bottle. Just make quick trivia on trains? I'm sorry, are we doing a fucking autism diagnosis here? What is happening? The surface of the small bottle had been intricately etched into small corners, small squares reflecting the nearby street lamps and shimmering. When I lived as a man, I found these perfume bottles to be beautifully crafted, but I felt too self-conscious to buy them or carry them. But now, I no longer have such concern. Sometimes, changing your gender can open the world to you. The door to such a new world refers to sleeping with men. Opening the lid, she brought the pressed glass to Lumion's nose. Remember its scent. The perfume was rich and refreshing. Got it, Lumion said. It has a distinct top, middle, and base note, but the differences are subtle. There is no need to discern them specifically. You'll know it by the scent alone. I'll position myself 3 to 4 meters away from Louis, and without a hound's nose, he won't be able to detect this fragrance, but that doesn't affect you. So I'm to track you from a distance? Exactly, Franca said. Almost instantaneously, Lumion witnessed Franca's form fade away. Apart from the lingering fragrance, he had completely lost track of the witch. In the blink of an eye, Lumion felt the fragrance source receding, drawing towards the end of the alley. Lumion made his way in that direction, slipping into the shadows and pressing against a wall. After nearly half an hour, Louis emerged, dressed in a red vest, blue uniform, white tie, and waxed hat. Accompanying him was Roger. One of them took the reins of the carriage, while the other entered inside. Why is Roger following him? Is he planning to meet Madame Polly? Dr. Z, how's it going? Lumion surveyed the surroundings, wasting no time. Oh, thank you, Kami. This introduced new variables to the plan. Originally, Lumion intended to find an opportune moment where during Louis' return journey, and with his current strength, he could easily overpower him. However, if Roger was to join the equation, this would make things difficult. From the midwife's performance in his dream, Lumion deduced that a heretic spellmaster possessed numerous mystical techniques and considerable powers. They were completely capable of matching a witch from the assassin pathway. While Lumion could have Franca distract Roger while he dealt with Louis, the battle between two mid-sequences wouldn't exactly be quick. If Roger were truly intending to meet Madame Polly, I'll just follow him. My objective is to locate them and establish a contact with her. The rental carriage began its journey towards the opposite end of Avenue de Marche. Lumion hurried along beside the street lamps, maintaining a distance of 20 meters. After a while, he sensed the perfume had come to a halt. Approaching another 10 meters, he witnessed the rental carriage pull over by the roadside, and Roger disembarked. Not far stood La Marche de Courtier de Gentlemen. Within a matter of seconds, Louis directed the carriage towards a fork in the road, bypassing the bustling area. Meanwhile, Roger ventured into the market alone. Is Madame Polly and La Marche de Courtier de Gentlemen? Or is Roger merely escorting Louis for a distance, concerned for potential danger? Regardless, Louis took precedence. Behind La Marche de Courtier de Gentlemen, there were only a few pedestrians. Under the pitch-black sky, occasionally one could spot a lone figure. Several street lamps were out of order here, leaving the road engulfed in darkness. Lumion surveyed the area, wasting no time, removed his glasses, and sprinted forward. Coming? Thank you. Oh, this song again. Before long, he caught up with the slow-moving carriage. As Louis sensed the anomaly, he pushed down the carriage with his left hand and lunged towards the driver's seat. From the distance, Lumion could see the black-haired, blue-eyed man. Though the other party had employed some disguise, Lumion was certain it was Louis. Reacting quickly, Louis, without bothering to ascertain the identity of the assailant, seized the reins with his left hand and balled his right hand into a fist. Like a speeding cannon, he launched an attack at Lumion, who was suspended in midair. In that moment, Louis caught sight of Lumion's face and his eyes widened. Undeterred, Lumion didn't evade. Instead, he extended his right hand and caught Louis' fist. Just as the impending collision seemed inevitable, Lumion retracted his arm, lessening the force behind the strike, and with a swift motion, intertwined Louis' fist and forearms as though he had boneless limbs. As a result, Louis was sent flying back. In the blink of an eye, Louis saw a smile on Lumion's face. Whack! Franca materialized on the opposite side of the carriage driver's seat, her palm poised to strike Louis' ear. Under the formidable strengths of two Beyonders, Louis succumbed to unconsciousness without uttering a single sound. Well, that was a quick fight. No build-up at all. By the way, you know what I watched recently? I watched all of Record of Ragnarok. I fucking hated Record of Ragnarok way back when it came out. But then I saw those all those fucking edits of the Chinese Emperor or whatever, and I was like, yo, I gotta watch this shit. That's so good. So I had to watch all of it just for that. Yeah. Hey, listen, everything else aside, they did that fight I think that fight and then the Atom fight in particular, I think they did really well. I don't know about the rest, okay? I know Romero said like he really hated the Tesla fight, but I haven't seen that yet, so I don't know. What, I liked it? God, no, I liked it. It was genuinely decent. I'm for the anime that exists, okay? I want to be clear. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, it was great animation or whatever, but it was like for the type of anime it is, like we're watching slop here. It was fine. We're watching slop. This is fine. Like I don't have high hopes here. The one for the Chinese Emperor was actually really well done though. I enjoyed that one. I can't remember his name. With a swift movement, Lumion used the force of Louis' fall to gracefully land in the spot where the carriage driver had been stationed. Franca had already taken over Louis' seat, expertly maneuvering the horses and bringing the carriage to a halt. Their coordination was flawless. Even without communicating, one focused on the front while the other ambushed from behind. In a matter of seconds, they overpowered Louis, a powerful Sequence 8. Powerful Sequence 8 is kind of a fucking joke, but... Again, for the slop that exists, yeah, this is fine, bro. I don't have huge expectations for this. I told you, I tried watching this shit when it came on. I was like... So yeah, for what that is, yeah, that's fine. I don't expect anything else from this. No, I know. That's fine. Like, when life gives you lemon, make lemonade, bro. What do you want from me? Yeah, I'm gonna... Oh, yeah, no. Oh, no, it's not animated. Like, you guys, oh my god, not gonna happen. I can't watch it. Fucking, what do you want from me, bro? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's not great animation. Yeah, fucking, you're right. Shaking JPEG, spot on. Fuck do you want me to do about it? You want me to not watch? Again, I was only watching this bitch to fucking get to one spot. What do I give a fuck? That up again. Good things are about to happen. Okay, when you bring it to that specific point, yeah, of course. In hindsight. Might have fucked up. Okay. 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 This is a lot worse than I'm remembering. Bro, okay, in my defense, I was driving while I was watching this. I had like a really long road trip I was doing. So I was like, I was only watching it like, you know, I was only watching it the occasional frame anyway, so it was very well animated for me because every time I looked, there was something new happening, so carry him into the carriage. Like worse than you. Shut the fuck up, Kami. Okay, shut the fuck up. Don't give me fucking... Bro, you probably don't even have your license. Just shut the fuck up. Don't even... I was driving for like 6 hours straight, bro. What do you... Like, yeah, I was fucking bored. I was alone in the car for 6 hours straight. Carry him into the carriage, Franca instructed. Lumion didn't object and lifted Louis into the rented carriage. Franca followed suit, closing the door behind and removing her hood and black robe, seemingly prepared to change into a more comfortable attire upon returning home. Halfway through her task, she caught Lumion's puzzled gaze and snapped out of her reverie. Turn around, she awkwardly instructed. Dr. T, okay, listen. Okay, people who don't have licenses don't give me advice, okay? I've been driving for like 7 years. I have like a better record than like anyone, okay? Don't, I'm great, okay? I'm a great driver, okay? Lumen could deduce Franca's intention and obliged, diverting his gaze out the window to allow her some privacy. A rustling sound continued for over a minute. I'm done, Franca said. The rental carriage wasn't exactly spacious, and Lumion, standing at over 1.8 meters tall, slowly hunched and turned around. Franca now wore a red vest, a white tie, and blue gown adorned with a row of yellow buttons. Quite swift, Miss Franca, Lumion praised, acknowledging her as the new driver of the carriage. That's professionalism for you. If these buttons had been so time-consuming, I would have been even faster, Franca muttered. With her disguise complete, she retrieved an eyebrow pencil and other items she carried and quickly applied some makeup. Her complexion darkened and her eyebrows were made to appear untidy, transforming her into an ordinary-looking man. I'll be the carriage driver. You interrogate him, Franca said. She took a hold of the reins and guided the horse to turn around. What? Satisfied that the rental carriage was moving steadily, Lumion assisted Louis to do the opposite. Extracting a bottle of truth serum he had obtained from the unscrupulous Hedzi, he compelled Louis to consume a third of it. Cook him, Naya. True. Fuck that guy. As the drug began taking effect, Lumion resisted the urge to wake up the unconscious Louis with the ritual dagger and instead prodded the area between the bridge of his nose and lips, tugging at a strand of his hair, and lightly tickled his nostrils with a strand. What the fuck? Throughout this process, Lumion maintained a friendly, non-threatening posture, refraining from dislocating the captive's joints. Achoo! Louis sneezed and abruptly awoke. He glanced at Lumion, who sat at ease with a smile in front of him. Stay calm, Lumion assured. If I intended you harm, stray dogs would have already feasted upon you. Louis' immediate impulse was to employ his powers to escape, yet he recalled being attacked from behind. And so he cautiously peered out of the carriage. A distant light merged with the shadows, amplifying the hushed whispers. What is it you want? The other party may have been careless or vulnerable, preventing an opportunity for Louis to escape, but such an advantage would never manifest in direct confrontation. And the aid accompanying Lumion could strike from the shadows, a force to be reckoned with. I merely wish to reunite with an old friend, Lumion smiled. Jesus. You could say I've experienced something going wrong while driving? Yeah, but actually, I have a lot. No, it's okay. Listen, you know what? You're right. Kids don't do that. Okay, really dumb thing to. Louis, dressed in a linen shirt and shorts, replied with a dark expression, I won't succumb to your threats. Madame is already aware of my past transgressions and has forgiven me. Do I really possess incriminating information about you? Recollecting from his dreams a revelation of Louis engaging in an illicit affair with a woman from the village, clandestinely selling portions of the administrator's castle collection in a bid to blackmail him for the knowledge of Madame Polly's involvement with the Padre. If the Padre truly harbored desire for Madame Polly, it would make sense for him to forsake belief in the evil god symbolizing a bountiful harvest, or to forego birthing several children with her. Lumion suspected that his dream had crafted an R-rated adaptation of the concealed conflict between the two factions. After all, both the Padre and Madame Polly had numerous lovers. Compared to the secrets housed within Madame Polly's castle, Louis' affair and the pilfering of collections appeared innocuous and mundane. Yet here stood Louis. Is that so? Lumion adopted his persona of the Cordu prankster king. I merely assisted you in concealing your missteps. How could that be construed as a threat? You are the most shameless individual I have ever met. I am aware that you uncovered certain irregularities and sought to discern their origins, but you did threaten me and extract information about the Madame. True. In those days, I entertained the thought of betraying Madame and seeking the Padre's assistance, but that was because I hadn't comprehended the greatness of Mother. I was still a believer of a false god, the EBS, and now my life stems from the Mother and I belong solely to her. That's how it is. I must thank this truth serum. You spilled all that needed to be said. I don't have to rack my brain to get information. In reality, I sensed something amiss in the village and embarked on a certain investigation. When did you come to realize the greatness of Mother? Was it after you gave birth? How could you possibly know? So, I wasn't involved in the Padre's raid on the castle, or Louis wouldn't ask. When I undressed you earlier, I noticed stretch marks and a C-section scar on your tummy. Impossible! The Madame has erased them. I'm curious to know how Madame Polly managed to impregnate. Whether it is a man or a woman, as long as you engage in intimate relations with her and exchange bodily fluids, she can conceive a child according to her desires. I see. Lumion breathed a sigh of relief. His greatest concern had been the possibility of Madame Polly employing her abilities to impregnate him remotely. Dude, motherfucker's imagining she's got like a Bluetooth range of getting people pregnant. So both men and women will do. What about animals, Louis asked. That should work. What about plants or rocks? I don't know, Louis admitted. Madame had never contemplated such possibilities. Why does this youngster have such a vivid imagination? Regretfully, Lumion changed the subject. Have you conceived through the exchange of bodily fluids? How did you end up with that bird's nest thing like in your stomach? I don't want to know. I do. Knowledge is power. I have a new Lamborghini, a giant house, but you know what I can't buy? Knowledge. I don't you guys should get the meme. Since you can wait, how do you know about it? When did you see it? Louis asked. I'll tell you later, Lumion lied. Louis wore a perplexed expression as he muttered. It came along with the conception of the child. It's like fruit. The outer layer is the epidermis, and the fetus is the pulp, only once they are joined together and split open when ripe. That sounds magical. That bird's nest seems to possess great spiritual value. Can it be utilized in the realm of mysticism? It serves as a key ingredient in certain healing potions, Louis said. It has other uses as well, like enhancing the condition of human skin and providing power to spells. Are you planning to become Tower, by the way? Fuck no, Jesus. Fuck White Tower. That shit's garbage. Did your first child perish in the Padre's assault of the castle? Yes. He was so young. During that time, the Padre had so many followers. We kept retreating. And a few gardeners and heretic spellmasters lost their lives. If the Madame hadn't returned in time, we wouldn't have escaped. All those children died. How many people did the Padre bring? Illumian asked. Some were shepherds originally, like Pierre Barry, Niart Best, and the others. Some were the Padre's mistresses, like Sybil Barry, Madonna Benet, and Philippa Guillaume. The rest were Paz Benet and his gang. We killed a few of them, including the rather formidable Niart Best. In my dream, Niart was slain by the 3 sheep, so in reality he died on the raid on the administrator's castle. And I wasn't among the individuals mentioned by Louis. In other words, the battle scenes I witnessed were derived from a fragment of my soul. Thus, they were incomplete and unable to reveal the true picture. Where did Madame Polly go? Lumion asked. Chris, his son died. Have some fucking decency. I'm just saying he would be fucking sad, so of course I changed voices. God, you selfish bitch. Ugh. People have no sympathy these days, you know? This is the problem with humanity, I think. People are just... No one ever wants to put themselves in another person's shoes. His son died. Bastard. My guy said, no. You care about the voice change? God. And selfish dick. I've got no idea. When the madame came back, she wasn't well either. When she saw the castle in ruins and items destroyed, she gathered the remaining ones and prepared to leave Cordoue. There's a fanfic for the reader pathway. Why didn't Madame Polly try to bring back the dead? I never told you any of that. Lumion smiled, but offered no explanation. Louis couldn't help, Louis couldn't contain his urge to spill secrets. Madame can resurrect the dead and restore their bodies. But it's far from perfect. The resurrected aren't quite human. They're part corpse, part monster. They retain fragments of their original memories and can only exist for a week. Madame Polly's resurrection's quite weak at this level. What did Madame Polly want in Cordoue? He asked. Didn't I tell you already? Given what happened, I believe you may have a different perspective now, Lumion smiled. Back then, I didn't understand. I was even scared. That's why I dropped hints to the Padre during Mass, hoping for help. Yes. I later discovered that Madame wanted to create a new world in Cordoue. In this world, when humans die, their souls return to Earth and wander the wilderness. On special occasions, they can return home and experience the joy of reunion. By redeeming their sins, they can be reborn, emerging from the mother's womb as fetuses. Paramita? Yes, Louis replied. He suspected that Lumion had asked the question to gauge his reaction. Lumion knew the correct answer and had sought to determine if Louis was lying. He could only inquire about it from Louis and not Madame Polly. Madame briefly mentioned it, but it was quite vague, Louis said. She said it had only established a small caricature paramita, a part of a complete paramita. She had also mentioned that by creating her own paramita, she could please the mother and bear more. A part? What would happen if those madames managed to create a complete paramita? Lumion wondered if constructing a miniature paramita was a prerequisite for their unusual path towards godhood. What is Madame's sequence now? Madame's condition is quite peculiar. It may be related to the destruction of her paramita or something else. Why can't I control my words? Why do I keep talking? Louis thought. Louis realizing that his behavior has been influenced by one of Lumion's powers. Now, understanding the cause, he no longer blamed himself or felt anxious. He felt a sense of relief. Madame should be somewhere between sequence 5 and 4. At times, she exudes an imposing aura that makes people afraid of meeting her gaze, and at others, she lacks such grandeur. Aw, she's our new ASIC, but like way more of a bum. In the stuck between sequences, not in any other way, okay? It's reminiscent of the state Madame Polly displayed in my dream. Sequence 9 villain, 8 gardener, 7 heretic spellmaster, 6 sower. What comes after? Sower. Hold on. I need to write this down. Hold on. He knows more than I expected. Witnessing Lumion devote so much information about the pathway sequence in one go, Louis didn't dare take any risks. Yielding to his desire, he said, Sequence 5 is Banshee. And Evil Overlord, also known as Benevolent Overlord, or Madame, or Madame. So everyone who's Madame Knight, Madame whatever, is at least a Sequence 5. I see, okay. I don't know what lies beyond. I'm merely a gardener, and I don't possess the right to receive any further boons. Banshee, that implies a change of gender. Pullet became Polly. Titles like Madame Moon and Madame Night symbolize godhood and demigods, but Madame Polly doesn't precisely fit the role of Madame Night. Is there any reason you're kissing your mic? 'Cause I want to, bitch. Fuck you. Were Madame Polly's initial followers in the village mostly lovers and the elderly? That's correct, Louis said. People like Naroka, who were quite old, yearned deeply for their departed loved ones. They longed to see them again and worried about what awaits them after death. They experienced both fear and longing. That's the aid Madame can provide. Unfortunately, Naroka passed suddenly before fully embracing Paramita. Madame suspects that she discovered the Padre's scheme and was killed by her younger son, who follows the Padre. That explains it. Her demise was the result of being silenced. Ava and Raymond likely the same. When did you realize something was amiss with the Padre? In early January, Louis said. I caught sight of the children in the castle tower. You can't fathom what it was like. To put it briefly, it terrified me and nearly drove me insane. I was desperate to leave Madame. Initially, I believed she was just like those mystical fanatics who enjoyed purchasing magazines like Psychic and Lotus. I didn't think there was anything wrong, yet as time went on, I noticed that the other residents of the castle were becoming more and more strange. The administrator locked himself and the Madame in their rooms on 2 separate occasions, coinciding with the birth of a child. Each time, my valets and maids often did the same, and Madame was remarkably understanding of this behavior. From time to time, the distant cries of a child reached my ears, causing suspicion to well up. Seizing the opportunity that Madame's absence presented, I slipped into the tower, and oh mother, the sight that greeted me was terrifying. Louis, originally intending to speak of the Padre's abnormal behavior, found himself unable to contain his thoughts and began to ramble. Lumen could vividly imagine the scene, for he too had witnessed it, human children with bird-like claws sprawled against the walls. I initially dropped hints to the Padre during Mass, and later took the opportunity to reveal Madame's abnormality to him. I suspected that she may be a believer of an evil deity. He instructed me to keep it hidden and not expose myself, assuring me he would handle it. It was around mid-January when things took a turn for the worse. The Padre continued his normal routine as if nothing was amiss. Despite my repeated urgings, he eventually discovered the truth and threatened me. After that, Sewell, the carriage driver, and I received a revelation. We repented and pledged ourselves to Madame. Then in March, the Padre suddenly launched an attack on the castle. Louis had limited knowledge of the Padre's situation. When Lumion inquired further about what had transpired, Lumion seemed unfamiliar with the village's circumstances. He only mentioned that since January, the villagers had been frequently discussing horoscopes, believing it would bring them glory and alter their destinies. Prior to that, they merely followed certain folk tradition to ward off any changes in their fate. Within the understanding of that the former administrator Boest and Madame Polly's lady maid Kathy were now heretic spellmasters, and that before Polly left Cordoue, before Lent, Lumion realized he wouldn't glean any more truth from Louis. "Where's Madame Polly now?" he asked. "In Quartier de... No." Louis instinctively moved to cover his mouth, but added, "Rue de Scotch Broom." Rue de Scotch Broom in Quartier de Noël? I don't know. It's like fucked up in my... A map of Trier from the from a magazine article flashed through Lumien's mind. Quartier de Noël? I don't know. I lay northeast of La Marche de Quartier de Gentlemen, divided by the Sorrenzo River, renowned for its numerous hospitals, including the Veterans Home and Wounded Soldiers Hospital. Yeah, it's wrong in my translation too? Oh, okay. Suddenly, being situated in the suburbs, it boasted a fair share of farmland. Lumien refrained from pressuring Louis or intensifying his desire to get more information, and instead smiled. I bear no ill will towards the Madame, and merely wish to speak to her about the events that happened in Cordoue. I will allow you to depart. Please inform Madame Polly that if she is willing to meet me, she can choose the time and place. Please send your response to room 302, New Rue de Pavès, Quartier de Jardin Botanique, before tomorrow night. It was a safe house that Lumien had prepared, and now finally served its purpose. Louis sighed and said, "Got it." Anxious thoughts plagued him, fearing Lumien may allow him to depart only to trail him. Yet considering Lumien's evident capability to uncover Madame's precise whereabouts without pressing, Lumien found himself compelled to place his trust in the man. He then gestured towards his shorts and remarked, "I cannot possibly leave like this." Alright guys, I think we'll end it here. Hour and a half. Yeah, maybe I am getting old. I don't know. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Maybe, what the fuck? Alright, good night, guys.